Impulse is revolutionizing the physical therapy experience for active individuals in Western New York. From marathon runners to warriors of the weight room, we've got you covered. Our cutting-edge technology takes sport-specific testing to the next level. Our patient-centered approach lets you drive your own recovery. You can expect individualized one-on-one sessions every time you're here. And the game changer? Impulse is home to Western New York's only public board-certified sports PT. If you're ready to get back in the game, call Impulse today and mention Moneyball for $100 off your first visit.
Hey, it's Moneyball time. This is Donovan D. Money Scott. Have a very special guest here today, a definite flip from the normal script that I do. We don't have an athlete with us today. We don't have a coach, but I do have a Joe though. I have a Joe here with me. I'm gonna butcher the last name again, which is Silagyi. Silagyi. Okay, you know what? Like he can only tell me 20 times. Joe Silagyi. Joe Silagyi is a very good dude that I had the honor of meeting when I was recently out in Las Vegas. A Buffalo guy that I bumped into, currently working with Carrie Underwood on her residency in Las Vegas. And I thought this guy would be a lot of fun to talk to. He's had a past of, I guess, a roadie, a driver. He's been with different bands and toured around all over the place. So what's up, Joe? How are you, man?
Good. How you guys doing today?
Everybody's doing great over on this end, man. Me and the family are actually getting ready to pack up and head to Florida and do some spring training. Hopefully get down there and do some interviews as well. But I thought it'd be real fun to have you on today and just kind of talk a little bit and BS and tell some stories. Joe asked me if this was an R-rated or a PG show. So most of his stories, I think, might fall on that R. Let's call it PG-13. We're probably a PG-13 show, right? We do have a lot of kids listening. So.
Yeah.
So how's everything going currently with what you're doing with Carrie's residency and everything that's going on out there?
It's been going good. The nice thing about being out here is we've been coming out here for about a little over 2 years now. So it's nice compared to because we just set everything up. It's the same routine here every night.
Yeah.
Compared to going to different cities when you're on a tour, touring across the country. You're going into different venues and you got to set everything up the same, that morning of the show, tear it down that night, pack it up, go to the next city and all that. We're here. It's like we set it up. It stays set for 2 weeks and do 6 shows in 2 weeks and pack it up and come back in about 2 more months. Come back in May again, the end of May.
So it's like a 6 show on, take a break, go back, do it again, right?
Yep.
And she's been doing this for a little while, right? How long has she been doing that out there?
We started, this is 2024. So our first show here was in December of 2020.
Wow. Okay.
If I'm mathing right.
Has it been at Resorts World the whole time?
It has.
Yeah.
And we were this place has been open for 2 years. So I guess it would be 2021 that we come out here.
A couple of years anyway, right?
It's once it goes past, it's all a blur. But yeah, we've been coming out here since we were the first ones to open this place up. It's supposed to be Celine Dion, but it's something that happened with her voice or something, and then Carrie ended up being the first person to open the new theater that they have here as far as a residency. They've also had Katy Perry and Luke Bryan. They're done, and we're the only ones that are still going with it.
Yeah, I mean, the show is phenomenal. You guys do a great job out there as far as the production team and everybody else. My wife and I, obviously, that's how we met you, going out and checking it out. And it's just very, very well done, the whole production. Give me a day in the life for you, Joe. Right now, I guess we'll rewind and we'll talk about the past a little bit. But right now, a day in the life. What is the routine for you with what you're doing while you're doing the residency?
Well, today's a show day for us. So my partner, who is Eve Overland, is her personal trainer. So she trains with her in the morning. I have to bring her back and forth to where they train and all that. And then we just basically wait until the show starts. I do a little bit of things here and there, helping with the production side of stuff. They have I don't know if it's, probably not a giveaway because they've been doing it for so long, but there's a bachelorette that they have that comes sings with Carrie.
Or are they back to doing that again?
We're back to doing that. Yeah. Now that when we were here in December, they were doing the Christmas thing. So
Yeah.
she was doing Christmas songs every night. But yeah, back to doing the Bachelor. So we got to find a bachelorette. We try to find every night to go up and sing with her. And then that's basically it. When we first get here, I also help set up the meet and greet and put up pipe and drape and all that and get decorated where they do the meet and greet. But
so what Joe's referring to, you know, during Carrie's show, mid-show, I would say they do something real special. And Joe and Eve before the show find a bachelorette. A lot of girls out in Vegas, right, doing their bachelorette parties.
Yep.
And they're going to see Carrie, and they'll find someone. Now, is there ever not been one? Like, have you ever not had a bachelorette?
Thankfully, we have not had that problem. We've been close. Like, it's like, you know, all right, 15 minutes before
down to the wire.
So we haven't found anyone yet, and then somehow or another we find one. But
isn't that wild though? Like, well, and maybe, I don't know, we just make it up like, hey, you're a bachelorette now, right? But I mean, it's such a capital for that stuff, for guys going and doing their bachelor parties and girls bachelorettes, that like you can always find, you know, somebody doing a party to bring up on stage. So Carrie basically will say, hey, you, and bring them up on stage. And do they get to sing with her, or what do they do?
Yeah, there's a verse of the song where they sing together and all that, and then
they just have the experience of a lifetime. Yeah, when we were out there, we did, it was the Christmas, so I think she just added a couple of Christmas songs. And to be honest with you, I would have rather have seen that bachelorette thing, because I think that would be a pretty cool, you know, part of the show. I'll tell you what, though, man, she crushed a couple of those Christmas songs. So, you know, at least I got to experience those too. She's definitely got a wonderful voice.
Yeah, and it was cool because like instead of like when you're on tour and all that, a lot of people probably don't realize because they only go see one show of the concert. You know, we have fans that come see it multiple cities and all that, but it's the same set, same song set every night.
Right.
Same out here. It's the same set every night. Same songs are in the same time frames, you know, right after another. But during that Christmas set, those two Christmas songs she was doing, she did two different songs every night. So there was repeats on the Christmas songs. Which was really cool.
Yeah, it's a different spin on things for sure. And I the one that we heard the one night was, I think, the best song that she does. And, you know, my wife's the big Carrie fan, right? But she was belting that out, man. And it made the hair on the arms stand up a little bit, you know?
Right.
You know, that's an interesting part of concerts and touring. And it's funny you mentioned that, or not funny, but it's a good segue to where I was going to go. If you're going to a concert, no matter who it is, it could be Def Leppard to LL Cool J. And if you want to know what song's coming up next, you can basically Google it, you know, and you can look at the set list.
Yep. Nowadays. Absolutely.
Right. And it's always the same. Do you think that ruins the element a little bit, like with the concert, or has it just kind of always been that way?
I don't know. I mean, I guess me personally, I wouldn't do that. Like if I was going to see a concert, I'm not going to be like, okay, what are they going to play? I want that element of surprise.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I want to know what they're going to. I don't want to know what they're going to sing ahead of time. I want to see what's going to happen and what they're going to do.
You're just there to enjoy the concert. Yeah.
Exactly.
I found myself doing it because I share the same sentiment with you, but I found myself doing it at like the last couple shows I was at. I think because I found out that I had the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was like, I just did, you know what I mean? Like, and then, and I could look at whoever and be like, you know, oh, I bet they're going to play this next, and they'll play it. And like, for the people that don't know about that, I could trick them, right? I'll be like, I bet you $100 they sing this next.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
if you get someone like me that doesn't know, I'll be like, no way.
Yeah. Tell me, let's talk about, you know, your past experiences with bands that you've been involved with, and some past, you know, positions you've had. I know I got to meet Joe, you know, out in Vegas and chop it up with this guy a little bit, and he had told me a little bit of his, you know, a little bit of his past with certain bands he's been with and stuff. And it sounds like a riot, man. Like one of the reasons I wanted to talk and interview with you, your job sounds like a lot of fun, right? And meeting different people and traveling. And 20 years ago, let's go back 20 years. You know, who are the first bands you were with? And tell me a couple of the stories being out on the road.
Well,
don't be bashful here, Joe.
So April of 2004, I started, I had been driving trucks since 1996.
Okay.
April 2004, finally got the opportunity to work in the entertainment industry. Worked for this small little company out of New Jersey. They flew me to Milwaukee to pick my truck up, drove to Buffalo to gather my things to load into the truck because you only fly with so much. But when you're on the road, you're on the road for, I mean, you're on the road for months at a time. And then went to New Jersey, picked up a trailer, and I actually had to go to Madison Square Garden to load out WrestleMania. So my very first thing doing in this business was WWE, loading out WrestleMania, because they bring in extra gear for the big pay-per-views and stuff. That was an experience. Never been to New York City before.
Okay.
Never drove a semi truck in New York City before.
Well, man, being in New York City is one thing. Driving a semi truck in New York City is a whole nother thing.
Yeah. And it was definitely an experience. But that's where I cut my teeth, was Madison Square Garden was my very first loading up, doing anything in the entertainment industry.
Man, and that's the Mecca. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what everyone in the entertainment industry aims for, you know, and longs to go to MST, right? And you started there.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, started with there, and then went out on my very first official tour, where I was doing like shows every night and all that, was the Vans Warped Tour.
Okay.
I know that's not around anymore, but that was a different experience because it's like we weren't doing your typical arenas and all that. They bring portable stages, you set up in parking lots, and then show started like at noon and was over at 8 o'clock at night, where most of them didn't even start till 8 o'clock at night.
I love that tour, man. That was one of the most gnarly. Yeah. It was a cool tour. That was a cool one because they mixed rap and rock a lot.
Yeah.
In the Warped tours. It reminded me that there was the Smokin' Grooves tour was another one back then. I don't know if you've heard of that. And it was the same type deal where they would mix the rock and the rap. So you'd have like Rage Against the Machine with Cypress Hill, and stuff like that.
Right.
Which is cool because it draws two different audiences and everybody would come together.
Right. And then after that, I went out on tour with Beyonce, Missy Elliot, and Alicia Keys.
See, now this is something we need to hear about. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. That one there, that was an easy gig for me. All I did out there was Beyonce had her own dressing room furniture and all that for all the arena shows, and I was just driving around her dressing room furniture.
Really?
Easy gig.
That's it. Just driving it around show to show.
Yep.
Dressing room furniture. So I mean, and for anyone, I've heard the stories of the celebrities, the singers that need to have the blue M&Ms only, right, in their
right. Yeah, on the rider.
Right. Yeah, there's all this stuff on the rider. You got to have the blue M&Ms. You got to have this type of seat cushion and everything else, right?
Yeah, 20 bottles of Bobby on her.
What was in the trailer? What was the special furniture?
It was just couches, lamps, but it was hers. So it was, a lot of the venues, they'll supply dressing room furniture and all that. But I mean, you never know who's been on it before, who was in there before, what they did, So she had her own furniture that she wanted to sit on, I guess. I was new to the industry, so I was just like, whatever.
Yeah, right. You were just like, this is my job and I'm going to do it, right? Excuse me. Now, in doing that, how close do you get to these people? Do you, obviously you're a professional, and as a professional, you're not going over the top, right, with trying to talk to them or anything like that.
Right.
But there's got to be some times, where at least if they're a good person or a solid person, that they're going to pay dues and respect to the people that are traveling with their stuff and everything. What comes up with that? I mean, any good stories with anyone where you've gotten to spend a few minutes talking to them, or anything that resonates with you?
I think the cool when I first started doing this, I was probably my second year into doing this, and I was out doing the Tony Hawk Boom Boom Hawk Jam.
Okay.
And actually went to his warehouse to pick up. I think I was picking up one of his half pipe ramps or whatever.
Yeah.
That they were bringing out there, and just in the warehouse waiting to load the truck up and all that. And I hear this guy come behind me. He's like, "Hey, excuse me, have you seen so and so?" I'm like, "No, I haven't. Sorry." And I was just like, holy shit, that was Tony Hawk. He's just talking to me like any normal person. He's like, "Hey man, have you seen so and so?" I'm just like, "No, I don't know who that is. I'm just here to pick up gear, I'm one of the drivers." Right. He's like, "All right, cool, thanks, man, appreciate it," and walked off. And I was just like, took me a second. I'm just like, that was just Tony Hawk,
Yeah. Beyonce and Carrie Underwood, you're at the absolute top of the food chain here, as far as superstars go. I might rank them 1 and 2, you know, from the female side of things. It's an interesting, you know, it's an interesting world you live, you know, as far as that goes. Did you ever think in a million years you'd be sitting in Vegas, you know, picking out bachelorettes for Carrie Underwood,
No, not
right?
knowing I'd be anywhere into this. I knew when I was, let's see, I graduated. Oh, I mean, I don't mind. I graduated in 1991. I remember going to a concert. I think it was like Queensryche,
Yeah, yeah,
back at the old Odd.
yeah. Silent
And,
lucidity.
yeah, but it was at the old Memorial Auditorium
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah.
Me and we were, you know, my friends, we were walking around, and it's like I saw the trucks and the buses and all that parked backstage, and I was just like, man, that's cool. It's like I want to do that when I, you know,
Really?
I don't know, someday. And then 20 years after that, well, probably not 20 years, but whatever.
Yeah, no kidding though. You really did say that,
91,
huh? Like
91 to
you
2004.
kind of
And
set that as a goal for yourself?
yeah, I wanted to do it. You know, I saw that and I thought that was the coolest thing. And I was just like, I'm going to do that someday. Um, and then I finally got to do it.
You should be
But
very, very, you should be very proud of that, man. You know, and it's not like it was an overnight thing or anything. And we all go through trials and tribulations in life and different things, right? That happen to all of us. But you work hard and that's what you end up doing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Which is, you know, that's one of the things. I just think you're a really cool dude. I you know, enjoy talking to you and you know, Eve, you're out doing your thing and you know, Eve, like you had mentioned, is Carrie's trainer, right? Still
yep.
going on, keeping that girl in shape,
Yeah,
right?
she's been with Carrie for 14 years now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing, man. And that's a testament to Eve because when you got somebody like Carrie Underwood or any celebrity, like we had said, Beyonce, whoever, man, if they're gonna keep you for 14 years, you know, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Because
And
you know
they wrote a book together. They have an app together. So
it's crazy. That's amazing. You know, because she could go to she literally could have anyone in the world, anyone.
right.
You know what I mean? And that says a lot about that. But any plans to get back to Buffalo anytime soon?
Uh it all depends. With my, you know, with doing this, it's like you never know. It's like actually, so I don't just work for her, you know. I get back and I'm actually getting ready to go out with a new up and coming country guy called Tyler Childers.
Okay.
Don't know any of his music or anything, but supposed to be going out to go out on tour with him for a little bit. But that also depends on with what happens with this Teamsters thing I've been trying to get on. So I live in Atlanta, Georgia now.
Okay.
But the they do a lot of filming stuff down there for TVs, movies.
Sure, yeah.
The TV show Netflix Ozark was filmed down there. Matter of fact, they filmed that about 7 miles from where we live at
Okay.
Snow Mountain Park is where they did a lot of the filming, like the riverboat scenes and all that.
Yeah, the Riverboat Casino.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip on Ozark one of these days. I'll be flipping through, and there's you and Eve in the background having dinner on.
Right, jogging by or something.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get on doing the Teamsters thing in Atlanta, doing the movies and TV shows and stuff like that, trying to come off the road. It's been 20 years doing this. Had my fill of it, and I'm just want to slow down and stop being on the road. It's another thing that's tough with being a driver and doing the concert touring thing. It's like when I'm on, like out here, I get to sleep like a normal person. I go to bed at night, get up in the morning, you know,
Right.
up during the daylight. When we're touring and all that as a driver, you got to flip flop our schedules. Like, so, because while the show's going on, you're sleeping. You get up at like 8, 9 o'clock at night, load the truck up after the show's over, and then you may have to drive 400 or 500 miles to the next city, you know, to wherever the next show is,
Right.
to get. So we're up all night long most of the time.
So, did you ever get to meet any of the Jackass guys? Did you ever do anything with them?
Never did anything with them.
No.
No.
I figured they might have been out on the Warped or something like that. I think they were probably.
If they did, that would have been before they were probably. Well, no, they were up and out, but
Actually, it would have been maybe past their prime, right?
yeah.
You know, you look and you say, "Oh, that car is a 2016 or a 2018," and you think you're like, "Man, oh, that's almost 10 years ago." You know what I mean?
Right.
Time just flies by. But listen, I'm hoping you do get back to Buffalo, man, because
Yeah. Like I said, it's tough. I miss it. I miss Mighty Taco.
yeah. Listen, anytime. Well, I can't really send you tacos, right? But maybe if it was the sauce or something.
Money tacos and Loganberry. That's one thing I missed.
Well, listen,
Right.
man, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, buddy.
I won't keep you too long, but thanks a lot for taking some time and chopping it with me, man. And I wish you all the best. Keep doing what you're doing, rocking and rolling, and we'll definitely be chatting down the road here.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Right. Thank you.